to do that. Okay, so y'all, I think you have to say yes to the recording. Okay, good, good. Awesome. So we are recording, and just a quick impromptu mindset call. Robbie had asked for this, so I'm so grateful that you did, and I hope it's inspirational and helpful for everyone. And if you're watching it right now, or you might be watching it later, you know, that's just always my main thing is I just want it to help you in some way. And so let's dive in because, okay, as soon as Robbie asked me, I started thinking about things, and I started thinking, to me, one of the hardest things I think for people to get and to understand and to have a sense of in their business is a sense of urgency. And kind of like, what is that? Why? And then I started thinking about, well, what is it? What isn't it? And so I have some notes, and I'm going to dive into my notes. So first thing I want to talk about, hang on, you guys, let me pull my notes up. Awesome. Okay. So first, I know that this might feel like it's not a mindset topic. Like you might be thinking, what? Sense of urgency? Like that doesn't sound like a mindset topic, but it really truly is, because if you don't have a mindset of a sense of urgency around your business, then you're just going to it's kind of laissez-faire, right? It's just kind of like, I'll do it when I do it. I might do my 5 and 5. I might not, that kind of thing. So first thing we have to do is understand what it is and why it's so important. So I'm going to read you guys what a true sense of urgency is. And this is just like a definition that I found on the internet, but it really, to me, kind of embodies it. So a sense of urgency refers to the feeling that a matter is pressing and needs to be completed as soon as possible. People who have a strong sense of urgency realize that time is of the essence, and they use it efficiently to complete their work quickly. Okay, what is not a sense of urgency? Because I think that the reason why sometimes people, and y'all can like type this in the chat or whatever and let me know what you think, but I was thinking about why sometimes do we not have a sense of urgency around our business? And I think it's because sometimes we equate urgency with anxiety, like frantic, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And that's not what we're talking about. So there's actually 3 stages of getting yourself to a sense of urgency. And the first one is complacency. So, if you can kind of ask yourself, you don't have to say it out loud, but just ask yourself, where am I on these 3 stages? One is complacency. And, we see that all the time. I mean, you might be at the grocery store and you see somebody that's just like, bringing you up, complacent. They don't really care because they have no sense of urgency about their business, right? Because it's not their store and they don't care, right? 2 is that frantic, anxious, responding to basically, oh my goodness, my month isn't going well. I've got to hurry. I've got to hurry. I've got to hurry up and like get some sales in and do whatever. And that's kind of the middle. And then a true sense of urgency is not that. It is not, it's being prepared. It's treating your business with just like always knowing that here's my end goal and working towards it because it matters. Okay. And so I kind of wanted to throw that out there for you guys to kind of think about, for just a second. Okay. So why do you need it in your business? All right. So urgency creates momentum. Creating a sense of urgency helps you stay focused. You will not care what other people think or say if you have a sense of urgency. You don't care because you're like, I gotta go. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Can you host? Oh, you can't host? No problem. Gotta go to the next person. And you're not gonna say that to anybody. And that's not gonna be it's not an anxious kind of thing, but in your head, you're excited. A sense of urgency should create excitement. You should be like, whoo, I'm on fire, let's go. And I know you guys have all been there in your business, so you know what it does feel like. And it feels good. A sense of urgency should feel good. In other words, it shouldn't feel negative. So if you're like kind of thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to create this sense of urgency because I'm afraid it's going to create too much work for me or whatever. I see heads shaking. Sometimes that's the case. I've heard that recently from someone. They said, but if I do all this, then I'm going to have all this. But that's that middle part. Okay. So remember, you can be complacent. You can kind of be in this middle part. It's almost like what we talked about at the retreat with growth zone and comfort zones and all those things. Or you can have a calm sense of urgency. And so that's what I want to get across to everyone. Like, a sense of urgency does not have to be frantic. You do not have to feel like, oh my God, I'm going to be doing 500 things at once. No, 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 no. It's here. It's your mindset. Your mindset is, I'm building this business because I've got this thing and I'm on a path and I'm focused. So a sense of urgency is the things that it creates, like I said, is to help you stay focused. It creates momentum. You won't think what other people, you won't care what other people think or say. And having a sense of urgency brings positive energy and excitement. And that's what I was just saying. So this is the mindset piece that we need to kind of make that swap in our head. Like, I want to work my business because, like, urgently, because I'm excited, because it's fun, because I find joy in it, because when I am doing these things, it's actually easier than when I'm not, and when I'm frantic at the end of the month. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, just, okay. So that's what and then also it brings about creativity. So when you have a sense of urgency, you will become more creative. You'll be like, oh, you know what? Why don't I do a pop-up shop? Why don't I do this? Because you're firing on all cylinders. Have you guys ever noticed that when you have a lot to do, you're like, boom, 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 you're knocking it out, you're getting it done. But when you don't, you're just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I got all day. I'm gonna do those 5 and 5 this afternoon, right? I mean, I do that all the time. I did it today. I was like, oh, I got all day. And then it didn't work out until 6 o'clock at night because I had all day. But I was determined to do it, So again, it's not frantic. So this is the piece I want you to change your mindset around. Okay. A few practical things. One thing that I remember hearing, and I know a lot of you have heard, is when I first started Arbonne, I remember hearing, while you're waiting, someone's signing up your grandma. So we all have heard that, right? So while you're waiting to talk to someone, so have a sense of urgency around talking to people. Okay, so if you've got someone in your head, I know we're doing our 5 and 5 and we're following a system, a method of that. But let's say, so for instance, let me give you an example. I think Robbie, you know this one. I had a lady who bought a lamp from me off of Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. And my only time to talk to this lady was when she was at my house picking up the lamp. And I don't do this to everybody that buys something from me from Marketplace. I do it to a lot of people, but she, Felicia is her name. And Felicia came and we started talking, and she was so kind and so sweet and so like energetic and all the things, and clearly a smart woman. And so I knew I got to talk to her now. I got to say something now. How am I going to do this? So had I not had that sense of urgency, I would have just thought, oh, well, maybe I can find her on Facebook. I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out to her Marketplace. But I said, oh my goodness, Felicia, you are so sweet and cute. I would love to reach out to you and just share. Not right now. I know you're in a hurry, but I'd love to share what I do with you. Can I reach out to you on Facebook? And she was like, yes. And we're having lunch Friday. And you guys, she's so cute and so adorable and smart. And when I reached out to her, she said, it's funny. We actually already had one talk, and she said, it's funny, but I actually had my accountant or financial advisor told me I need to get a home-based business for tax purposes. And she's like, I didn't know what I was going to do. Maybe this is it, and maybe not, right? But that's just one example. So you need to definitely have a sense of urgency around that. The other piece is, okay, this is my pet peeve. So I'm going to tell you guys this. In relation to getting orders in, okay, or like following up with people that have a free gift or whatever, the faster you get an order in, the faster people get it. So perception is everything, right? So the faster they get it, they don't think Arbonne takes forever. So let's imagine you have an order from someone and you're like, oh, I'll put it in tomorrow, or she doesn't really need it till next week because she's starting the 30-day or whatever. Never, 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 never do that in your business, because everything you do duplicates and it pushes everything further, because the faster you get it in, the faster they get it, the faster they start using the products, the faster they fall in love with them, the faster they run out, the faster they reorder, the faster they become a host, the faster they become a business partner. So it is really imperative to have a sense of urgency around that. And that's what we always want to teach our teams. That's super duper important. So Okay. Those were just a few things that I wanted to kind of share with you. Here's the last piece here. Then I have a few questions for you guys around this. I have a little short video for you. So the last piece here that I want to share with you, and this was powerful when I heard it. You need to have a sense of urgency around building your business because of this. When you put it off, when you are putting off, like, I know that we all start and we're excited or whatever, and then we're just like, kind of, sometimes we hit this middle of the road, like, well, I'm comfortable, right? I'm comfortable. I know what I'm doing, and I can hit my brick, and I can bonus my district, and I can do this, whatever, and I'm in that comfort zone. But what we think that we're only putting off a few $100s or something, or that we don't think about the money, but think of it like this. When you postpone moving up to that next level, so let's imagine we get to nation. We all get to nation one day, right? Because we are, and we're not going to quit. So we get to nation and we look back. So here's what I want you to think about. When you're postponing things in your business, you're not just postponing a little bit of money, you're postponing $22,000. Maybe you could have made that the month before. Maybe you could have made it 2 months before. Maybe you could have made it a year before, which is $240,000 or whatever dollars. So you want to think of it like that as well, because you're not, and hopefully this is making sense. We are, that's the piece for me. When I heard that, I was like, whoa, that's huge. Like that could bless my family, that could bless somebody else, so every single thing in our business that we put off, it's a ripple effect. There's a giant ripple effect. And that's what I think is so important to understand about a sense of urgency, is when you are not doing your retails one day, right? Because we all fall into that trap. Or I go on vacation and I think, well, I'm on vacation. Yes, but why do we get to go on vacation? Or why do we get to, like, for me now in my life, we might be in the RV. Guess what? I do my 5 and 5. Why? Because that's how I was able to have this life. And it's how, if you don't have it now, it's how you'll have it another time. And so we have to realize that we have to discipline ourselves around this sense of urgency too, that it is so important to treat our business like, that slight edge. And you guys all know the slight edge. So this is the slight edge, is you've got to realize that when I put it off one day, or I put it off for a week, and this is super important around follow-up. So if you have a Facebook event, for instance, and I'm guilty of this too, so nobody's perfect, but have you ever had a Facebook event and you find yourself a week later, you're like, oh, I haven't really followed up with every single person in the party, or I was supposed to send a sample out, or, and I didn't get that done, like when I have a Facebook event now, if somebody's, if I am going to get to that point to send a sample, I know that's not best case scenario. Trust me, I know we want them to just purchase, but sometimes I do, right? And if I'm doing that, I get those samples out that day, if at all possible. As soon as I get that address, boom, I mail from home, so it's easy. So hopefully this is making sense, you guys. Just, it's so important. And so think about this. I want you to just think about this. Now, okay, I've got a few questions, and then I'm going to give you some things you should be thinking about having a sense of urgency around in your business. And then I've got this little video that you guys have all seen, but maybe some of you that are watching this maybe haven't. So I want you to think for a minute if you feel a sense of urgency around your business. So if you want, you can put that in the chat. So, and if you're watching this after the fact, you guys, you can just ask yourself. If you don't want to put it in the chat, that's okay. But do you right now feel a sense of urgency in your business? I know we're trying to keep it short, so we're not doing discussion tonight, but that's why some days and not others. Yay, 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 yay. Very cool. Okay. You feel some sense. Okay, awesome. So if not, and this is also for people watching it later, if you don't feel a sense of urgency, why do you think that is? Like let's say you said, well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Why do you think that is? Is it not understanding the connection? Is it fear? What are some of the things that y'all think could be? Christiana trying to get it back to the pre-baby level. Well, yeah, girl, you had a baby. That is, that is a pretty good reason. I know for me, it's complacency. I can guarantee 100% for me, it's complacency. Anytime I don't have a sense of urgency, it's because I'm in a pretty good place and I feel like I'm good, but yes, I want to go, nation, but I'm good. Right now, I don't feel like that. I have a sense of urgency. I feel like, hey, let's go. It's time. Let's get it, because I am holding somebody back. That's how I feel. Okay, well, that's just something to think about, you guys. And so if you don't feel, let's see, Lauren, I feel like I work all aspects of my life with a sense of urgency and it gets tiring. Yeah. No, it can. I mean, it definitely can, because you're always on go. And that, I think sometimes that's the mindset piece. Like, we can change our mindset around, it doesn't have to be frantic. Yes, spreading yourself too thin. So relatable. It doesn't have to be frantic, you guys. It can be just mindset piece. And maybe that has to do with your affirmations in the morning. Maybe your affirmations just get really clear on, this is what I need to do. Sometimes I think we think I've got to do this and this and this. And really, like, the number one thing are your reach outs and follow-ups, right? So just get that done. I talked to a lady today that was like, and I've got this binder and I've got this binder. And I was like, whoa, whoa, Nelly, way too many binders. Like, you don't need to be, she was asking me, she's on another team and she'd asked me to help her. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And she was like, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And I was like, I don't, I don't even know what you're talking about, And I was just like, I focus on, income producing activity, because that's the most important thing. And it's great if I get the other stuff done, but it doesn't always get done. So sometimes that's, schedule changes. Yes, becomes a choice, your husband or your 5 and 5. Yeah, definitely. And so I think one of the things that you guys can think about, take away from this is your why strong enough? Because I know for me, my sense of urgency, absolutely, hey baby, 100% comes from my why, because I do have a really strong why, and I always have. And I think that that is something to think about. So you can kind of think about that. Okay. So what are some of the things you can have a sense of urgency around your business? We've gone up through some of this, but here are some ways that you could kind of implement having a sense of urgency in your business. Number one, hitting your brick before the middle of the month. So have a sense of urgency around that. Don't be thinking, well, I'll get there. And then it's day 10, like today, it's the 10th of the month. And, I'm at 500. Well, no, I'm not. But, but just be thinking like, hey, I don't have to wait till the end. I could get there now. Because if you had to, you could. So maybe you kind of stack your deck on the front end of the month. Having next month booked before the end of this month. That is so helpful, you guys, so helpful. If you're doing the 5 and 5, it's going to take you about 3 months to see that consistent, to really see consistent booking. But once you do, you will definitely have consistent booking. So like this month, I had 4, I think, booked this month before the end of last month, 4 Facebook events and one-on-ones and people starting. And that's so helpful. You don't feel like you're in that frantic place. So number one, hitting your brick. These are just ideas I came up with. Having next month booked, doing your follow-up, and getting your 5 and 5 done first thing in the morning. And I'm not good at that. I'm going to admit that right here and now. Okay. So I wanted to also, the last thing was how to develop that greater sense of urgency in your business. Number one, we already talked about, which was revisiting and re-strengthening your why. And then 2 is just understanding that slight edge. So never, never, never forget that, hey, every little bit that I put off, remember the ripple effect. So remember it, thinking about that, and having that goal. Like Andrea always says, this analogy of Christmas, if Christmas didn't have a date, if there was no date, we would never get it done. Right? If you didn't have a date for a wedding, you run around frantic like a to get everything done for a wedding, and you get it done because it has to get done. You get Christmas done because it had, like, we don't say, okay, I'm sorry, I'll get it done by the 5th. No, Christmas Day, or if you, if that's your thing, Hanukkah or whatever it is, but you get it done. So it's the same with your business. So have that sense of urgency around, hey, I've got to have this done by now because that's when I said I was going to have it done. Not because anybody else told me, but I said it. So like for Cancun, I set a goal for myself to have Cancun wrapped up before the last, so that I have a whole month left. So I have it done before I have, and there will be a whole nother month left. I'm just determined. I'm like, that's my goal and I'm doing it. And nobody your sense of urgency is yours. That's the good news. It's not mine. It's not Robbie's. It's not Lauren Rose's. It's not Kristen's. It's not Christiana's. It's yours. So you get to choose what that means, but have one. Okay. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is share this video, which I know some of you have seen before, but it doesn't matter. Every single time I watch this, it's still amazing. So let's share the screen and let's do it. You guys know this video, I'm sure. Let me pull it up. Wait, I don't know if y'all can see that. There we go. Can you guys see it? Hopefully you can read it. One extra degree, you guys, separates the good from the great. Can y'all read that?
Holly, I don't know if it's playing.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Yeah, it's not playing. It's just staying on the beginning screen.
Okay, gotcha. And it might not. So what I'll do is like this, let's see. It's just 3 minutes, so let's see if it'll play. If it doesn't, that's okay. Is it playing for you guys or not?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So can y'all read this?
Yep.
So 1 extra degree separates the good from the great.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So this says the average margin of victory for the last 25 years in all major tournaments was less than 3 strokes. In the 2004 men's 800 millimeter race, the margin of victory was 0.71 seconds. The winner took home 1 million something, and the second place was 620. A difference of $657,000 for that 1.5 seconds. 212-degree focus. It says having a simple, clearly defined goal can capture the imagination and inspire passion. It can cut through the fog like a beacon in the night. Maybe you're now aware. That is it. So I know y'all probably seen that before, and there's a whole bunch of different 212 degrees videos, but I used to watch that a lot because it fired me up and inspired me. And it might not be that for you. It might be Rocky Balboa running up the stairs, right? And, you know, or whatever it is. But you guys, it's that having that little extra bit of because, and imagine, I mean, honestly, if you just said, okay, I'm gonna, why not? Like, we're all here for a reason, and we are all still here for a reason. So we right here, we can inspire, and you guys watching, we can inspire the entire team. That's why we came on this call tonight, is because y'all are part of this group of people that want to go area, and Christiana's wanting to go region, and we can inspire, you know, everyone else by having that 212 degrees of effort, by them seeing, right, that, oh my God, what happened to those girls? They are on fire. And that's what I hope that you get from this, is just go think about this and decide, like, hey, I'm going to have a sense of urgency. Let me try it for 1 month. Okay. And then let me do it again for next month. And then what about the next month? And just like, go. Y'all, that's all it is. I promise you. It is just deciding, and just like every day deciding, having that sense of urgency. And what you might even pick something like that 212 degrees and watch it every single morning to remind yourself that that is who you are. You are a champion. You guys are all champions. You are not like just somebody that's just meant to sit around. You're 1%ers. You're a champion. And so go get it. Like, go get it. It's right there. I mean, it's there. So that is what I have for you tonight. I hope it was inspirational and helpful. And if y'all want to stay, if anybody, I know you may want to go, but if you want to stay on, if you have any comments, I'll stay on. So whatever you want to do.
I gotta run. I gotta
All
go.
right. I'm glad you were here. Thank y'all so much for hopping on. I hope it was helpful. And
Thank you, Polly, so
So
much.
oh, you're welcome. I hope it was inspirational and helpful. Let's go get it. I mean, we're not even halfway through this month. So what if we all did this? What if we all said, let's do it. Let's push it 212 degrees. Like, let's stop it being in that complacency space. Let's move to urgency, you know? So, all right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.